Hi, I'm Jeeves, the Crypto Chap's butler. And it is most certainly a beautiful green day today in Cryptoland. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come back up. Almost always. Well, there seems to be something missing from the bottom of the coin market cap today. Where's it gone? There it is. That's funny, that graph reminds me a little bit of... Yep. No kidding. Now, because of my personal involvement in cryptocurrency, I'm always really interested to see how the media in my country represents it. And The Independent, a well-respected broadsheet newspaper, has decided to present me with this today. To be fair, it was 11 hours ago. But even 11 hours ago, we were still rebounding. Basically, if you want to know about cryptocurrency, do your own research. You can't even rely on mainstream media. Not yet. But we will humour the question, and these guys right here suggest that experienced investors knew that the Bitcoin honeymoon couldn't last forever. Those who catch the last train are usually punished by the market. Big-time miners and investors understood they needed to diversify. So these guys are suggesting that those who panic sold were the lucky ones that got away scot-free. You hear that, guys? If you sold all your cryptocurrency this week, well done. They're making it sound like the professionals got out before it was too late. Yes, there was going to be some kind of market correction in the wake of this humongous pump that we've seen over the last few months. But it's going to keep on growing, so it's not a problem. You see, each and every time there is some kind of a dip in cryptocurrency, the mainstream media jumps on it as the most recent bubble bursting. Yeah, and then we have this going on with Bali. To be fair, there are a lot of countries right now who are looking at how to regulate cryptocurrency. In yesterday's video, we talked about France and Germany getting together to have a little chat about that. South Korea, China, and these are massive markets, and this is interesting too. Now, I've actually asked myself this question, because India here trying to get information from trading platforms in order to decide how much to tax cryptocurrency gains. When a or several cryptocurrencies eventually get to the point where they are used as much as fiat currencies, governments, I guess, are eventually going to have to make some kind of a decision about how they tax them. I don't have a problem with paying tax because right now I live in a country where there are roads, where there's a police force, where there's a fire service, and living in Great Britain, I've also got the NHS. I guess for those people who see cryptocurrency as a get-rich-quick thing and they just kind of want to keep everything for themselves, you know, they might have a problem with this, but personally, I don't see an issue with this. This is actually a question I've asked myself because cryptocurrency does make up part of my personal financial portfolio and Crypto Chaps. So how do you calculate tax on it? Interesting question. But this is going to be something that deters some people from cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, over in China, this is quite severe. So the People's Bank of China supposedly having issued a document requiring payment providers in Beijing to stop allowing cryptocurrency traders. So that's not shutting down the exchanges via regulation and force. It's kind of, I guess, a softer way of shutting down the exchanges just by starving them, not them, but the traders of the money they need to trade. And that is definitely something that's going to kind of hold Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies by virtue of their connection to Bitcoin down as they try to rebound. Right, all of that said, we've humoured these guys, we've answered their questions. Now let's go to the Daily Express, who's taken a different perspective. Daily Express conversely asks, why is Bitcoin going up? Should you buy Bitcoin? Well, to be honest with you, my first answer to that question is this. The time to buy Bitcoin was the dip. I personally tried to buy Bitcoin, just little bits. I don't spend my whole life savings on Bitcoin. When the price is low, when everyone else is panicking, you buy. Be interesting to see what they say though. Why is Bitcoin going up today? After a calamitous week, some experts think Bitcoin's upturn was inevitable as the markets begin to correct themselves. Absolutely. And as to the question, should you buy Bitcoin? Well, here at the bottom again, we have a little bit of negativity. Mr. Ardney, who on earth is he? He's a financial blogger. Mr. Money Mustache. Sounds legit. You should not invest in Bitcoin. The reason why is that it is not an investment, just as gold, tulip bulbs, beanie babies and rare baseball cards are also not investments. They are things that people have bought in the past, driving them up to absurd prices, not because they did anything useful or produced money or had social value. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. Gold is a representation of value that makes trading easier. Stuff has value when people like them, and that gives them value, so I don't agree with that. And he's kind of missing the point that Bitcoin does a couple of things. It makes transfer of wealth from one place to another a heck of a lot easier. And also theoretically, the way of transferring wealth is in my hands and your hands and everyone else who has Bitcoin, as opposed to the bank. Now, interesting question on Reddit here. Could a government shutdown affect Bitcoin? That's a government shutdown in the States, not here. We don't do that sort of thing. Now, in the past, when the Venezuelan government has proved unable, shall we say, to correctly manage the finances of their country, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has actually been used. People have started adopting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies more. As they're decentralized, they're seen as a safer option than money that's hyperinflating and becoming worthless. Now, I'm not suggesting that's going to happen in the US, but elsewhere in Reddit, it's been suggested that the rise in Bitcoin does correlate with this government shutdown. Now, correlation isn't causation, I recognise that, but I do find it really, really interesting. I feel that the less confidence people have in governments and other financial institutions, the more place cryptocurrency will have and the more it will be able to fill that vacuum of confidence. And finally, another reason for the increase in the value of cryptocurrency recently: the Lightning Network! People bragging here about the speed at which their transactions are now happening. And that's definitely also something that's contributed to the rise in the value of Bitcoin over the last few hours. Now, migrant workers are not a new thing, but now migrant Bitcoin miners. And the reason for this is former Soviet power grids which simply aren't being used. I think this is really interesting from a business perspective altogether. Massive power plants built in the Soviet era that now simply are not being used. And surely this means cheap energy prices, which is perfect for crypto miners. And if you are a miner, you're going to get a lot of competition for your hashes from miners based in Russia. Just saying. And interestingly enough, earlier this week, when everything was crashing, there was a massive surge in the amount of energy used to mine. Popular Science wants to teach us how to make smart investments in cryptocurrency. Go on, Popular Science, let's see what you got to say. Are they not going to tell me? Oh, they're going to make me pay for it. Good heavens. Mini Ty Lopez. Look at this. This is fantastic. Worth $479 in total. The bundle is now just $24 with lifetime access included. All the way from full-on scammers to your average business, everybody is looking to profit from Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Honestly, I can answer this question for you right here, right now. Get to know what you're dealing with. Do your own research. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. For the most part, just hodl and don't day trade very much. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. This has been your Pumpy Dumpy Crypto Digest. And this is Jeeves, like a sir, signing off.